Okay, yes, so this lecture is about creating a garment. In fashion design, when you're taking the different courses for this major, they will want you to probably get inspiration from somewhere. Whether you can get inspiration from a museum, a painting, the street, the skyline, the military, the way their uniforms are made, whatever it is, they some of them prefer that you have inspiration in that way. Also, you can get inspiration from the eras, the 80s, the 90s, you know, different eras, the 20s, whatever you era you want to use. And it's a lot of different ways to get inspiration for those things. Now, they also will, once you get the inspiration, I want you to create probably sketches. You can do either you can do illustration, which you'll probably have to take both classes, both Adobe Illustration, where you'll be sketching digitally on the computer in Adobe, or you will have to sketch by hand. Either way, they're going to teach you how to do those things. And if you're sketching by hand, they'll want you to do like a 10 head croquis, which looks like a model with the line on it that you're wanting to create, or the garment on it that you're wanting to create. They probably will want you to create maybe more than just one piece, but those are the first two things they're probably going to want you to do to get an idea. And then you'll have to do the fabric swatches, pick what type of, well, that'll be included, but you have to pick what type of fabric you want to use to make your garment. And you have to see if the fabric is good for the type of garment you want to make. Different fabrics are for different things. You have the lightweight fabrics, you have the more sturdy fabrics. Like cotton is one of the most common because it's like it can be lightweight to heavy, so it can be made from it can be made in different ways, from bed linen to sweaters to whatever you want to do. So it just depends on what kind of garment you want to make, what type of feel or finish you want the garment to have. And yeah, that's that. And the next thing that I want you to do is, how are you going to make the garment? Are you going to make it by patterns, or are you going to draft it on a bodice or yeah, I can't think of the term right now, but I'll just use the bodice. Are you going to draft it on the dress form? That's the name of it, the dress form, because it depends on how you want the garment to lay, what you're doing, and all of that. So you're gonna have to take they usually teach you pattern drafting in fashion design, pattern drafting 1 and 2, and so you'll have to also take drafting 1 and 2, I believe, in which they'll teach you how to lay the fabric on the dress form. You'll use muslin first, and then they'll teach you how to lay the real fabric that you're doing. You're using muslin with the dress form, and you're measuring what kind of, whether it be a skirt or whatever, you're using that dress form as like a body to create a pattern for the garment you're gonna make. And the draping is usually done with dresses and gowns, but I'm sure you can use patterns for gowns as well, and dresses, obviously. But obviously, but the pattern drafting is where you'll be creating patterns, and you'll be creating patterns for the garments that you want to make. So you're gonna learn those things, and then you're gonna sew the garment. So you have to make sure that you have all the necessary tools to sew it. You have to make sure that I would recommend take your, I don't want to say take your time, because you're going to be on a deadline with class. You're going to be on a deadline. You're going to have to finish things in a certain amount of time in order to get a good grade. And you're going to have put in the effort. So I would recommend, making sure that you're calm in, and making sure that you're doing things correctly. Base first, as I said. Use the patterns correctly. Make sure you're cutting out everything neat in order to make sure that you get the best possible look. Um, I would say making a garment is kind of like baking a cake. You get all your ingredients together, and you get all your ingredients together, and then you follow the instructions, the directions, and you put in the eggs, and you put in the sugar, and you put in the butter, which would be cutting out the patterns, getting basting the front bodice together, and then putting the zipper in the back, to putting the zipper in the back with the back two pieces, or whatever you want to do with that. So that would be pretty much how you would create the garment. You make sure that your sewing machine is prepared, and that you have all the things that you need to do it. You could also, if you want to practice, you could also make the garment in muslin first before you actually make it in your fabric, just to get some practice. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's actually a good idea. For me personally, I haven't done it like that all the time, unless I had to for school or something like that. But you can do it like that if that's what you want to do. It's all up to you. That will probably make your garment neater once you're done. So yeah, you can use the muslin first. You want to make sure that you are also making sure that the inside of the garment looks as good as the outside if possible. So you may want to serge the seams where the garment has been sewn, just to, or do a different type of stitch. They have something called the Hong Kong stitch, where you kind of, it's like obviously originated from Hong Kong, but it's a kind of a very tricky method, but whatever kind of stitch you want to use to finish your garment, but you want to make sure that your garment looks good on the inside as much as possible. Um, Also, you want to make sure that your seam allowance is proper. The seam allowance is what you use to measure how far in you're going to sew your garment. Usually, the seam allowance for the side seams is 1/2 inch, and for the neckline is 1/4 of an inch. It's marked on your sewing machine. All you have to do is follow where it says 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch, and you want to make sure that you follow the directions for that measurement or that seam allowance, just in case, just because you want your garment to fit the model or to fit you or whatever, or whoever you're making the garment for. Because if you do your seam allowance too small, then it won't fit. And then once it's too small, you have to use your seam ripper and take that all the thread out and do it again. Or if it's too big, you have to go back over it and take it in some more. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. You also, if you are creating your own garment, you get to figure out what you want to put. Do you want to put any special details like darts? Do you want? I don't have any darts on my dress, but do you want to? I have ruching on my dress though. Do you want to put ruching on on your garment where it kind of gathers? Do you want to put a pocket or a zipper here or a zipper there? It's all up to you. So you have to make sure that when you're creating the garment or making the pattern, that you try to incorporate those things. And there'll be instructors there to teach you as well too, if you need help with that part in the course. And you can also let me know, and I will also try and help in whatever way I can. But you want to make sure that you incorporate those things in, even the darts. They're going to teach you how to do the different darts, um, there, like I said, the bust dart, the neck dart, the waist dart, the whatever dart you want to put in your dress, just to make it